Well, hello there, friends. I'm making my cherry clafoutis, cherry custard pie again. I made it already on the channel when we started 4 years ago, and I forgot a bunch of stuff. And I also forgot to cut into it to show you what it looked like on the inside. Not this time. This time I covered all of them. You're gonna love it, and it's really simple to make. For those of you that don't bake, I promise you, you can do it. A 4-year-old could do it. Just supervise him with the mixer, okay? That's all you gotta do. This is amazing. Thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring the bell. I'm glad you're here. Stay tuned. We're doing it right now, friends. Okay, friends. Well, this is one of my favorite desserts of all time. I know I love dessert. I do a lot of them, but this one, and that's the easiest dessert in the world. For those of you that don't bake, don't make dessert because you don't like to bake, trust me, this does not require any experience whatsoever. If you cannot make this dessert, we gotta have a talk. I promise you, friends. I made it in one of the first videos we did when we started the channel about 4 years ago. And I was working in the commercial kitchen at the time, and we had discrepancy in the temperature of the oven versus what it should be. So I'm gonna clear all that up. Plus, at the end, it was one of the first videos I didn't cut to show you what the inside looked like. So I said, you know what? Let's just make a brand new video, and you're gonna love it. It's really simple. And I don't know if you noticed, but cherries are back. They are in season. This is the first batch of it. They're not as sweet as they could be, as they will be, hopefully in the next month or so. Those are the first pick, but they're still beautiful. So if you can't find a fresh cherry, you can also use canned cherry. Pitted dark black cherry in syrup. You can buy them in a can, and they're quite nice. They're very nice. So, but we got fresh cherries, so we're going to use the fresh one. And what you want to do is you want to take the pits off. I'll tell you a story later that I told in my first video. I'll tell you again about the pits. But you want to take most of the pits out. You'll see why I say most of the pits. So there's all kind of different gadgets you can buy. Fancy one, a not so fancy one, but my favorite one. You take the cherry and you put it in like this, and you just pop. Now make sure you put your hand in there, because you want to make sure you get the pit. See? Boom. You want to make sure you get that pit. Because in many cases, you're not going to get that pit. It's not going to come out right if you don't put the cherry very, very carefully in the middle. Here, I got to put it really in the middle. And then I got 2 out of 2 this time, so I got lucky. But sometimes it doesn't come out though. And the reason why I say that is because if you have too many pits, it's not going to be a pleasure to eat it. I'll tell you the story about the pit in a little while. Let me just get it going, friends, okay? So we're going to use a regular pie dough, a regular pie shell, what do you call it, pie mold? Cherry pie. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, it's a glass. I use this kind of mold usually just for this one. And we don't need to make a dough. It's a custard pie. It's a clafoutis. That's the French word for it. So what we're going to do, we are going to use a non-stick spray on the mold. Be generous because otherwise it will stick on you. And then I take my pepper out. That's the easiest way to do the cleanup. And what we're going to do, we're going to take a lasagna pan and we're going to put it in here, and that's it. And then we're going to take our pitted cherry, then we have right there, and we're going to fill the bottom up. The bottom of it all the way up. And don't forget to put it, be generous, okay? It's okay if you have a few extra. Eventually, they're going to float on top anyway. You'll see. All right? So, and then we're going to make the, let's take all this out of here. We don't need it. We don't need this either. So let's now make the, you okay with here, or you want me, I can move it like that a little bit. You're good? Don't move it. Okay, don't move it. Oh, I always save a few at the end for decoration. I always save a few cherries with a stem. Make sure they're pretty. You see, you got to have some pretty one, okay? Yeah, otherwise it don't look good. You'll see. You'll see. All right, friends, we're gonna do the. So we're gonna put 5 eggs. This is the easiest recipe you'll make. Period. Okay, you gotta have a blender or immersion blender or some kind of a blender. We're gonna put two eggs. Oh, you know what? I forgot to get my half and half. I'm gonna get it right there, and cream. Half and half and cream. If you don't have half and half, you can put milk. It works great with milk, but half and half is better. So 1 cup of half and half, and 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. Heavy whipping cream. Boom. You notice I'm measuring. Write that on your book. Not every day I do that. So we're going to wait a second for that. We're going to put 1.25 cups of sugar. You can put more if you want, or you can put less. It's up to you. And 1 cup of sifted flour that I sifted earlier to save some time. And we're going to put the sugar on top. And a pinch of salt. You're not going to test it. The salt is just there to wake up the ingredients and to balance it out. It's very important. You'll be amazed. Vanilla, I like to use Tahitian vanilla. It's one of my favorite vanilla. Use whatever kind of vanilla you want to use. I would say a couple of teaspoons of vanilla. You don't want to put too much. You don't want to overwhelm it. And then we're going to put half and half or milk, depends what you have, and a cream. And that's it, my friends. How simple is that so far, right? You have to admit, this is the simplest dessert in the world to make. We're going to turn that on. We're going to make sure it's nice and blended, not too much. You don't need to blend it too much. You make too many bubbles. Let's see. I want to make sure there is no flour stuck on the side of it. And there you go. Let's make sure there's no flour. There's a little bit here, but no big deal. Just a little bit here. And we're going to run it again for a second. And then that's all we need. It doesn't matter, really. So it's it right there. We'll run it again. And that's it, my friends. Told you it was an easy dessert, right? So now we're going to pour it in here. Now, like I said, in a previous recipe, I had some discrepancy in the oven. Every oven temperature is so different from one to the next. What we really want ultimately is about 325, 350. Okay, we'll keep an eye on it. Okay, 325, 350. Okay, because in a restaurant business, or when I was in a commercial kitchen, I cooked at a very, very low temperature for a long, long time. But nobody's got a long, long time to wait for a dessert. So if you cook at a 325, 350, you're perfectly fine, friends. All right, so we're going to go and pour as much as we can in here. We may top it a little bit more. Let me get a spoon just to push some of the cherries. Yeah, and you see, I told you they're going to float. They're going to float. You see, and they're floating. We're going to put just a little bit more if we can. I obviously have made just a little too much, or I put too many cherries, whatever it is. I have some extra. This would be great in coffee. Yeah, it's not going to go to waste, trust me. Right? And then what we're going to do, friends, we're going to put as hot of a water as your sink can provide you. My water is pretty hot. I put it in just, it's still pretty hot. And we're going to go about halfway. I'm going to go in the oven. If I have too many bubbles, I give you a little trick. You probably don't have one of those. I use it in my plumbing job when I do the plumbing. You probably don't have one of those, but you can get the little torch when you do the creme brulee with. And what that does, that gets rid of the extra bubble. You see, look, if you look, I don't know if you can see. You can see, yes? That gets rid of the extra bubbles. That gives you a better presentation. It takes out the plumbing torch. So, friends, I'm going to put in just a little bit more if I can. You see, I'm just going to try to put as much as I possibly can. And then I'm going to pop it in the oven. And I don't want you to watch me because I'm very bad when I do that, I walk in the oven. So here's what we're going to do, okay, friends? We're going to bake them. We're going to take them out of the ovens. Good idea. When they're solid, when they don't shake anymore, when they don't jiggle in the middle anymore, then we know they're done. And then you got to let it cool. You got to let it cool. I say 2 hours, 4 hours. It's best overnight, friends. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put it overnight. And then tomorrow, I come and I'm going to cut a piece. I'm going to show you how I present it. And you're going to see the inside, how amazing it is. Okay? So we'll see you tomorrow morning. Or whenever we do it, all right? We'll see you later. Thanks. Okay, friends. It could take about an hour and a half. It depends the temperature of your oven, how fluctuated it is. I just took it off. I just wanted to show you. You see, there's no, I took it off with, I put those spatula underneath. And I just take it out because it's hot. You got to take it out of the water. Now, the center of it, see, no more jiggling, no more moving around. It's set. And now you need to really, really let it cool completely until you put your hand on it. You don't feel any heat whatsoever before you put it in the refrigerator. Because if you put it in the refrigerator right now, you're going to trap a lot of moisture in there, and it's not going to have a nice, tight consistency. So it's very important. Let it cool first, room temperature, then put it in the fridge. What I do is I have a big bowl, glass bowl, that I put on top of it. Because you don't want to put a plastic film on it. You're going to mess that up, this beautiful crust. So what I do is I put a plate, and I put a big glass bowl on it. Somehow figure out a way to cover it, and you leave it in there overnight. You would have to leave it at least 4, 5, 6 hours before you can really cut it. So it's best you do it overnight. And it's ready. And you see how simple that was? And tomorrow we're going to make it look pretty with a little powdered sugar, decorated the cherry, and then we're going to eat it. All right, so I see you tomorrow.
The next day.
Okay, friends, well, it's the next day. I don't know how I kept them from eating it. Let me tell you, I have to hide it. Otherwise, like, oh, we take a little bit. So, friends, this is how I put it away. See, in the refrigerator, I got a big plate and a bowl right on top of it, and I keep it refrigerated like that. It's better overnight if you have the time, friends. If not, like I said, at least 4 or 5 hours. Let me do something before I do that. I want to put the, you want to make sure you take a little spoon and you make sure it's not stuck. Sometimes it sticks a little bit there and there because we didn't spray it correctly. You want to take it out at room temperature for about an hour. I didn't do this. I tell you what to do. So, but I don't do it. What's wrong with me? Sometimes I wonder. So you make sure the sides are not stick. Not stick. Yeah. English is getting better and better. Mm-hmm. So what I want to do here, friends, is because it's very cold. You want it to be cold, but you don't want it to be that cold. It always not going to come out. And I'm going to put it in the hot water. I put 2 spatula here because it'll be easier to just take them and put it out instead of just trying to take it out with hot water, right? So I got hot water. I'm going to put a little bit in here. All I'm interested really is really seeing a little bit of the bottom. That's all. That's enough. And then I'm going to put that in there. You see, and I put it on the spatula. You'll see, it's easier to take it out. And then you take your pie and just leave it in there, and that's going to be enough. Is there enough? Oh, yeah. It is enough to kind of release the bottom of it so it comes out easier. It's a trick my mom used to use. I wanted to make sure I didn't forget to tell you the story about the pits. Or did I tell them? I told them maybe, no? I didn't tell them. Then my mom used to, I think I told you, but just in case I didn't tell you. My mom used to think we ate it too fast, and we swallow it. We didn't even enjoy it. So she would leave a few pits. I think I told you the story. She would leave a few pits on it, and we thought it tasted better because we were looking for the pit. And more you keep it in your mouth, then better off you are, because by the time you swallow the food, it's gone. I think I told you the story, so it'll be the second time you can tell the kids. So now look, friends, all we're going to do now is we're going to wait a second, and or maybe 30 seconds. So Jack is going to do his magic. We're going to wait 30 seconds.
A few moments later.
All right, friends, now we're going to take it. Now you have to be careful now, friends. It's easier if you don't have to travel too much. See, like right here. You don't travel too much. See how much easier it is? Think it's easier than what? Well, easier than try to grab it. Well, it's actually easier. It's not, it didn't get, maybe I didn't leave it in there long enough. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. You know, this is life with me. Whatever happens, happens. So if I mess up, you see the mess up. Hopefully you don't do it. That's why we show you the mess up, so that you don't do it. So look, guys, I take a plate, then it's going to fit right in there, and then we flip it. Now be careful at this point, friends, because you could easily lose it, but it's not going to come out that easy, so don't worry about you're going to flip it and it's going to come out of your plate. Don't worry about that. So now at this point, it could, by itself, release. It could. But not with me, not with the camera. Without the camera, no problem. It releases itself. The minute I turn on the camera, difficulty starts. That's why this channel is so good, is because whenever I turn on the camera, problem starts. Now what happened here, I'm looking for a bubble, but I don't see one. So when there's no bubble, we have to create one, which means I'm going to take a spoon and poke a little hole, not poke a hole, that kind of release a little bit somewhere, and hopefully that bubble will grow, and the whole thing is going to come out. So what we do is we take a spoon, then we grab the handle right there, you see, and then we take a spoon with, it doesn't matter what end of the spoon you do, and if you look, I'm putting an air bubble, and if you look, the bubble starts as here. Look. You see right there, friends? You see right there? Whoop! It came out. The sound effect was very important. But you see, now if you wait long enough, it may come out without you doing anything. So far, no, so good. All right, so now we're going to flip it on the other side, friends. Okay? And I have a plate that is cold the plate, and we're going to flip it on the other side, okay? So, very important. Oop, mamma mia. There was a little water on the cutting board. Let's be gentle now. Gentle, and voila. Okay, so you have a little bit that stuck in here. Don't worry. It's no big deal because you're not going to see any of it. You see, friends? Look what you do. This is the makeup. You see? Check this out. See, my friends? Powdered sugar. I go light on the sugar when I do it because then I can do my makeup. And then you take a couple of cherries and you put them right in the middle of it. And my friends, this is a cherry Clafoutis by excellence. Voila. This is a beautiful cherry Clafoutis. Now, in the last video that I did, I never cut into it because it was one of the first videos. I wasn't sure to eat on camera a lot. So as soon as the camera came off, everybody went to eat it. But now we're going to eat it together. Okay, so I want to show you what it looks like on the inside. Now, for the purpose of slicing it, we're going to take the cherry out, but this would be great to serve it like this. And then all we do is just take a knife or a spoon or whatever it is you want to do, and you cut a slice. That's all. Remember, it's a custard pie. And a custard pie doesn't have any dough. So that's the beauty about it. You see? You clean your knife if it's not clean, And you know what you do to clean the knife? You take a little hot water and you clean it so it's nice and clean, right? Make sure you go all the way in, eh? When you do your cut, meaning it's deep, right? And then you cut a nice slice. You have to give it a little scissor job to cut some of the cherries that are going to be in the middle. And you cut as big or as little of a piece as you like, my friends. I like a big one, but today I'm doing a little one because I'm probably going to eat more. And voila, we have ourselves a beautiful cherry clafoutis. Is that gorgeous or what? Let me put it, look at this thing. Look at it, look at this, look at this. Is that a picture? And how easy was that? For those, I told you, for those of you that don't bake, this is a no bake. I mean, no dough, no nothing. You see what I mean? Look at this. You could serve it also with a crème anglaise, English custard cream, right there on the side of it. This would be awesome with an English custard cream, crème anglaise. Let me get a fork. I got one right here. Look how beautiful that is. You like it, my friends? It's gorgeous, isn't it? You like it, Jack? You're going to eat like this. So here we go. Look at this. Is that gorgeous? This right there, my friend. You do it, and then you're going to say, he was right. This is delicious. I'm telling you, you're going to do it. My friends, I'm so glad I remade that video because cherries, they're expensive right now. Wait a week or so. It tastes better, and they won't be as expensive. Hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, thumbs up if you like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring the bell. Thanks for watching, friends. Oh, I am not waiting. I'm eating this thing right now. This is my paw. Jack, take it easy, okay? Don't eat the whole thing.